and welcome to the Cozy Meadow Knits podcast, episode 4. My name is Sophie, and I'm coming to you from New Brunswick, Canada, where I live with my husband and 2 children. This is a knitting podcast where I will share my recent makes, my current projects that I am working on, and any new projects that I would love to cast on. Also, if I get any yarn, I will share my acquisitions at the end of the podcast. I sew a tiny little bit. If I do make anything that's remotely cute or whatever useful, I will share. But right now, I don't have anything right now. What else? Oh, yes. You can find me on Ravelry as cozymeadowknits. I'm also on Instagram as Sophies_knits_and_things. Everything will be linked down below this video on where you can find me, and any projects that I'm talking about, designers or patterns, I will link below. Thank you so much for joining me. To new viewers, hello and welcome, and to returning viewers, hello and welcome again. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, so I hope you have a warm and cozy beverage of your choice. I am drinking some caramel coffee, which is really delicious. And I guess I can start with my finished objects. Let's do that. Good, that's good. Okay, I hope the lighting is good. I'm in a little different spot in the house. As you can see, my Christmas decorations are still up, and they will be going down after tomorrow. Today is December 31st, so happy New Year's Eve to everyone, and if this is uploaded tomorrow, happy 2022 to everyone. I wish you a great and healthy and safe and joyous and cozy and everything year. Okay, let's start with the knitting. I will begin with what I am wearing. This is my first finished object. This is the Clark sweater, or Clark pullover, by Jane Richmond. I completed this in December. I don't remember when, but sometime in the whirlwind of December. December was crazy. Yes, it was. What a crazy month. So anyway, back to the knitting talk. Clark pullover. I will stand up in a few seconds to show you how it fits. This project, this pattern was so amazing. The pattern is lovely, easy to follow. It has so many different sizes that you can choose from, and I knit it and the size is spot on. It is kind of like an oversized sweater, and it fits lovely. It worked out great. The yarn that I did use for this is Estelle DK, or Estelle Double Knit, and it was great. It is 50% wool and 50% acrylic, so it makes it a very affordable sweater to make, and I love it. It's super soft, and it was great to knit up. The yarn was great to knit with, so I highly recommend it. If you've never tried it, I really like it. I've worn it a couple of times, and it is warm and toasty, and I'm really hot right now. But it is great. I wore it at work, and I was not cold the entire day. It was great. So the construction of the sweater, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna put the camera a little bit away, so it's gonna shake for just a little tiny bit. So let's just do that. Hopefully this is okay. Okay, so this is a top-down construction. You start with the neckline, and you do not start though with the ribbing. It starts just with the neck underneath here, and you do raglan increases for the sleeves, and it's just regular striping. And the hem, okay, so this is the hem, this is how it fits. It is so awesome. I really love it. I tuck it in a little bit, but you can wear it. However, it has a split hem. I don't know if I can see that. And that was really easy to do. I had never done that before, and that was super easy. So you knit this, and then you knit the sleeves, and then at the end, you pick up stitches all around the neckline and do some ribbing. It's just one, I think it was 1 by 1 ribbing. If I can show it. Oh, there you go. Okay. So overall, final result and final verdict. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Final verdict. I love it. It is, I highly recommend it. Knit it up. You're gonna love it. Like I said, the fit is oversized, and it's just an everyday sweater that you can just throw on and just be cozy and comfy. Like, I really love it. So I couldn't be more pleased with it. So that is my first finished object. The colors, oh yeah, if there is anything you want to know specifically on my colors or how many stitches, I'm not sure if I wrote everything down in my Ravelry page, but I did say I did write what needles I chose and also the colors of the yarn, because the colors are numbers with the Estelle double knit. It's colors, it's the numbers, the colors are numbers. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Whew. Okay, so this is Clark pullover. I have another finished object. It is a half finished object, and it is a sock. So this is my sock. This is knit up. This is just a shorty sock that I've knit up. So yeah, for December, I bought myself a advent calendar by Sweet Skein of mine, and it was so much fun to open little bits of yarn every day. It was a joy. I really loved it. It was the first time that I ever bought an advent calendar for myself and an advent knitting calendar. Oh my goodness, it was awesome. It's definitely a tradition that I will do every year, I think. Anyway, I'm already excited for next year. So I knit this sock with the Sweet Skein of mine yarn. So every day in the advent calendar, you open up a little piece of yarn, and on the 25th of December, you get a full skein of yarn. And this is the full skein. This is the full skein that I got. Now I forget. Oh my goodness. I will, the name of the yarn will be in my Ravelry notes, but I forget what it is right now, I think. But just, I wanted to show you. Look at those colors. It is so nice. It's kind of like a peachy and with like base color, and it has all little flecks. It is so nice. It's so nice. Okay, so for my shorty sock, as you can see, this is how it's knitting up with the speckles. It's just so cute. The construction of this, basically I cast it on 64 stitches, did a 2x2 rib for about 5 rows, and then I knit 10 rows of stockinette stitch, and then I did a heel flap, slip stitch, and gusset, and then knit up until I have huge feet. I have really big feet. My foot size is like 8.5. So anyway, and I just did a regular round toe decrease with Kitchener stitch on the toe, and it fits great. So I'm gonna be this was my Christmas cast on. I casted this on Christmas evening, so it was really nice. So this is my second half finished object. I'll be casting that on probably tomorrow. That will be a good knit for just sitting down and talking with the family and be able to knit on something. So that is that. Now I have two works in progress. So with the advent calendar that I got, I will show you a little bit of the yarns that I got because they're so gorgeous, so gorgeous. Let me just show you. Oops. So this is just an example of the different yarn colors. Look at how nice that is. Oh, it is super squishy. It is super soft too. Super soft. I love it so much. Oh, look at this one. Look at the pink. Oh. So I have 24 of those skeins, little mini skeins. I'll show you some more. They're falling all over the place. I have kept them in one of my baskets. So anyway, super nice. Look at this one. They're super fun. So what I decided to make with these is a kind of like a patch blanket. So I've finished one of the many patches that will be in my blanket. So basically I'm going to be knitting like a lot of these little squares, and then I'm going to sew them together or seam them together. I'm not sure if it's going to be with a crochet hook. I'll look at that later, but yeah, it's going to look fantastic. I just want it as a lap blanket for myself. Yeah, so I'm going to be, after I get 9 little squares, I'll sew those up together to have like one big square, and then I'll put that aside and then start on little squares again. And then I'll kind of do that for patches, because I know sewing in these ends are going to be a lot of work. I've done my research. There's other blankets out there that you kind of knit as you go. So you knit a square, they're like mitered squares, and you knit and then you pick up and then you knit together. So you don't have a lot of ends to weave in. But I've decided not to do that because I wanted to be able to choose and to see beforehand how the patches are going to be together and whatnot. And I find with these little squares, I have more control, or I'll be able to see the whole vision like more. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm hoping to do. So these are super quick to knit up. And I do have a project page on Ravelry for this. The pattern that I'm using is a free pattern, but I'm modifying it. I think it is called Kitty Square, or I think so, the Kitty Corner Squares blanket. It'll be linked below. So the blanket is for DK weight yarn, and this is fingering weight. So I just looked at other blankets, other free patterns that are out there for like a little patch like this, and I saw how many stitches that were going to be cast on, or going to be how long it's going to be for fingering weight. Anyway, so I kind of took that, but I'm doing the square construction as the kitty square blanket. And so I hope you kind of understand. So I'm kind of like combining the two patterns together, but following the instructions for the kitty blanket. Anyway, it's on Ravelry. It's in my notes, and this is it. So this is square one of, like, I think I've calculated it's probably going to be over 100 squares. But I want to maybe have like 2 squares. This is going to be a long haul project for sure. I already know this. It would be cool if I would have it finished by next year. Not sure if that's going to happen, but I will try. Maybe I'll calculate how many squares I should be doing every month, and if I stick to it, I know I can do it. So that's my other project with my advent calendar. What else? Oh, my last work in progress is my Magnolia Bloom sweater. I don't know how. So I had shared the yarn that I was going to be using for this, but I just casted on, I think in December. Oh my, this is going to be tough to show. So my Magnolia Bloom sweater with all the little nubbies. Seriously, they look like little nipples. But I got better at them. Call them my little viruses, but they look healthier than they did on my swatch. I did a swatch, and it was pretty sad. But I am doing it as she has specified in the pattern, and once you get the hang of it, it's easy enough. It's easy enough. And so yeah, I am making the size large, and I've just split for the sleeves. You can see. So just split for the sleeves. This is on scrap yarn, and I tried it on today. I tried it on this morning, and it fits. I was a bit scared because I followed the pattern to a T, and it says to cast on so many stitches underneath the arms, and I'm always scared because I have chunkier arms here. I'm always scared that it's going to be tight right at the armpit, and I don't know, like I usually cast on a little bit, like a couple of more stitches than what the pattern usually suggests, and I kind of forgot to do that, and so I did a couple of rounds, and then I'm like, oh gosh, oh, I hope that fits. And so I put it on a longer cord, and I did try it, and it fits. I think it's going to fit really good. It's pretty. It's not something that I would usually wear. The lace part I would, but the little nubbies, the little baubles, is not something that I would usually wear. So, but it looked cute. It looked cute. So that is my Magnolia Bloom by Camilla Vlad. I think that's her name. Links, everything will be linked below. The yarn that I'm using for this is it is Cascade Eco or Echo Plus. I'm not sure if it's Eco or Echo. But it is 100% Peruvian wool, and it's awesome. It's a little bit rustic, but not like I'm going to be able to wear this next to skin, no problem. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying the yarn, and I am enjoying the pattern, and now the lace part, nothing is complicated at all. The most complicated would be, and it's not, are the baubles. And once you get the hang of it, don't be scared of the baubles. You will persevere. If I can, you can. Okay, so I think that's it for the sweater. Now I'm just going to be knitting in around, so that's going to go very fast because this is my favorite TV knitting kind of thing. So that's that. What else? I went to my local yarn shop, which is La Violette Yarn and Gift Co. In Bouctouche, New Brunswick, and that is my happy place. So I got a gift certificate for Christmas from my sister-in-law, and I was so happy to get it. And so of course I was like, I need to go. So I went on Wednesday, and I purchased some things. First thing that I purchased was this is gonna be backwards. So it's Estelle Bulky yarn. It's so soft and squishy, and so I knitted a hat for my sister for Christmas, and I'll try to post a picture. I have no idea. I've never done this before, so I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try to post a picture of it. I made two, one for my coworker and one for my sister. And yeah, it's a new pattern that I found. It's a free pattern, but I did some modifications on the needles that I used, the size of needles, and the number of stitches that I casted on, and the number of repeats that I did. But other than that, I followed the pattern. All of those details are in my Ravelry page for these hats. So anyway, I made hats. My sister got one for Christmas, and then my niece wanted one too. So I was like, you know what? It's perfect, because this skein, it's a really big skein. These make exactly two hats. So I'm gonna make myself one, and I'm gonna make one for my niece Vanessa. So I got this, and I got pom-poms. So I got two pom-poms with it. And look how good that looks. It looks really cute. So these pom-poms are really nice because they have a snap. Ooh. Well, I'm not gonna pick that up, but they have snaps. So you sew one of the snaps on the hat, and then see, it's like a little, so the pom-pom will snap to the hat. If you want to wash your hat, you just need to remove the pom-pom and you can wash it. So it's really neat. I've used these a lot lately. So that was my first purchase. And the other thing that I purchased a sweater's quantity of yarn, because I don't know if I can grab them all together. Oh yeah. Okay. Are you ready? This is, so this is Cascade 220 yarn, worsted weight. And I'm going, oh, look at that blue. Like, that's pretty much spot on the color too. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like royal blue, but it has like a heather to it. And it does. It has kind of like turquoise. I don't know. You can't really see it too much, but oh my goodness. And then this is going to be the pop of color. The pattern, the sweater that I'm going to be making with this is the Silver Lining sweater by Jennifer Steingast, Knit Love Wool. Anyway, so this is going to be a colorwork sweater. This is going to be my second colorwork sweater, and I'm really excited to cast this on. It's going to be soon. In the next week? Yes, it's going to be next week because I am still on vacation. I'm just going back to work on January 10th. Yay for me and the kids. Staying home with the kids. My husband is starting back on Monday, but I get an extra week. Yay! I'm excited. So yeah. The yarn colors, again, yeah, there's no name to the colors, there's only numbers. So I will create a Ravelry page, project page for this, and I will mark down all of the color numbers. And this yarn is 100% Peruvian wool again. Peruvian Highland wool. I'm surprised I can read that. It's really tiny. Okay, so that's going to be my project cast on for next week. So I'm going to be doing the sock and the sweater and working on my Magnolia bloom and making the hats. It's a lot, but it's fun. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next few weeks. Oh, another thing that I bought, I just couldn't resist. This is not yarn, but it's super cute. Isn't it so cute? It is it's a card. It's a greeting card. I forget who is the designer of these, but yeah, these were at the yarn shop. There was a few. There's like a chihuahua with a hat, and there's a llama with a hat and scarf, I think, and then there's anyways, there's a few cute animals, but this one is so funny. I was like, I kept looking at it and it makes me smile every time I see it. And so I bought one and I'm like, I am going to frame this, and this is going somewhere on a wall in my house. It's so cute. Yes. Yes, my husband just rolled his eyes. He thought it was cute, but he rolled his eyes as like the way that I react to it. Anyway, I think that might be it. There's a few things that I keep forgetting to say during my podcasts, and one of the things is I always forget to recommend other podcasts that I am watching. And I am watching a lot of them. I enjoyed Vlogmas. Oh my goodness. To the people who do Vlogmas, wow, thank you so much. That is a lot of work. A lot of work. I can't even imagine to do that daily, because it takes a little bit to edit all the videos and clips together, and adding sound if you want, or adding text. It takes a while. So if you do that every day, amazing. I tried to do it. I wanted to do it every weekend of December, and I did 2, and that's it. I wanted to do one last weekend or the weekend before that, and just everything got so busy. Yeah, so thank you for Vlogmas. And okay, so the podcasts that I'm watching, I can't name all of them because there are so many. So I'm gonna try to share a couple every episode. Okay, so who is there? There's so many. Okay, sorry about that. I was totally blanking out. I had to write them down. And so I'm gonna give the podcasts that I watch. I'm going to recommend a few podcasts, and I will recommend some more in the future episodes. So first up, Knitting with Cat Hair. Nikki is such a lovely person. I love her projects that she does, and sometimes she podcasts with her mother. Anyway, they always have a laugh, and their laugh is infectious. It's super fun to watch, and so she's really great, and she actually helped me out. She encouraged me to start a podcast. I had just sent her a comment on Instagram or something, and just mentioned that, I loved her podcast and I was thinking about making one too, and she helped me out. She told me if I had any questions. Anyway, she was super kind, and she is super kind, and just wanted to say a big thank you, Nikki, for all the help. It really means a lot. So check her out, Knitting with Cat Hair. I will link all of the podcasts that I mentioned below. The other one, I have 4. So that was one. The second one, Sweet Mountain Crafts. Carissa is a lovely person. She is so talented. She is a new podcaster as well. And my goodness, she's a yarn dyer. She weaves, she spins, she cross stitches, I think. What else does she does everything. Like so many things. She sews a little bit too. Anyway, it's really fun to see her and her current projects. Super nice and lovely to watch. So that's another one to watch. So Sweet Mountain Crafts. Give her a watch. Also, Inspired Knitting Podcast. She is super fun to watch. So calm. Like, I don't know. She's really interesting to watch, and I totally relate to her. So she makes gnomes, and she's the one that inspired me to knit a gnome for my sister-in-law. So actually, that's a story that I forgot to tell. Um, After watching the Inspired Knitting podcast, I was like, oh my goodness, I should knit a gnome for my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law is in love with gnomes. There's gnomes everywhere in her house. She gets excited when she finds another one. So anyway, I was thinking for Christmas, I should knit her a gnome. And so I went and bought a pattern, and I chose the most complicated, detailed gnome ever, I think. Anyway, that's what it felt like. It's gorgeous, and one day I will knit this gnome for you, Rachel. But yeah, so I started the hat. The pattern is great. I forget what the pattern name is. It's in my Ravelry pages. So yeah, so I started knitting the hat, and I started it in December for Christmas. Hello. Why would you do that? I don't know. But anyway, I quickly, after a week, I got this much done. There's cables in the hat, and there's multiple cables. Anyway, it's gorgeous. But yeah, I quickly realized that there was no way I was going to finish this gnome. So anyway, I I was like, I'm not gonna knit her a gnome for Christmas. A week before Christmas, my sister-in-law sends me a text, and it was a picture, and she bought it was a gnome that looks like the Grinch. So it's like super hairy, and it's like green, and it has like this red hat. Anyway, it's super cute, and she's all excited. And then I'm like, I need to knit her a gnome. So I went on Ravelry. I looked up at free patterns if there was any. I found one, and it's called Christmas Gnomies. Yeah, Christmas Gnomies, I think. I have a project page for that. Anyway, so they are super tiny. They're not very big. They're about like yay high. But it's very basic. It's knitting in the round. It's stockinette stitch for the hat and the body, and then you do a little I-cord for the nose. I was able to piece this together. I finished it on Christmas Eve at night. I finally sewed him together. He is super cute. I just used scraps from various projects that I had. So anyway, she loved it. She really did. She loved it. When she opened it up, she was all excited. So I was so happy that she was glad. And I am definitely going to be knitting the bigger gnome and more elaborate in the future. I don't know when, but when I have the brain power to tackle it, I will definitely knit her that gnome. Anyway, so I was inspired by the Inspired Knitting podcast. So please check her out too. And last but not least, and there's so many more. Again, I'll mention in future episodes. But there's Twin Stitches Designs. She is Julianne Knitter, Julianne Le Boutelier. Anyway, she is amazing. She is a pattern designer. She designs mostly socks right now, but she has other designs, and she is a fellow New Brunswicker. So anyway, please check her out. She has a family. She has twin girls. They're super cute. She did Vlogmas. I followed her Vlogmas as well. So yeah, super talented and easy to listen to, and super inspiring anyway. So those are my recommendations for podcasts for this episode. I think that's pretty much it. The only other thing is I want to share a recipe. So the recipe that I'm going to share is, again, a quick recipe that I just whipped up, and it's actually from a recipe book, so I will try to either I think I'll write it in the notes if I can. If I can't, I will choose another recipe that I've made, and I will link it below. So the one that I want to share with you is it's made with mini multicolored marshmallows. It's an old school recipe, really, but it's old school, but it's good. So it is basically chocolate chips. You melt chocolate chips and peanut butter together with a little bit of butter, and then you melt that down, and then you just add the multicolored mini marshmallows, and you just put it in a pan, cut it up in squares, and it is really delicious and amazing and super easy and quick. So I'm all about super easy and quick recipes. So hopefully I can write that down below if my notes aren't too long, and hopefully you guys try it out. I think that's it for right now. So thank you so much for watching and sticking with me till the end. I wish you the best, the healthiest, the safest, the coziest 2022. And yeah, I just hope, just be kind, and I hope you guys are all well, and yeah, just wishing you the best. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya.